read you just about, I'm starting a few pages in, I'll just read a few lines. And it has Nietzsche in it, and that's all right. Anything with Nietzsche in it is tolerable. But his own age. Faust was old to begin with. Before that he was Don Juan. And after, again, a cycle. The young libertine ages into the old philosopher of love and becomes, just as Plato prophesied, only a philosopher itself, who then, restless in wisdom, seeks to wield the fist of youth, reclaim his youth. For, despite the plant that Gilgamesh found and lost, it is not to be young again that Faust wants, but to claim his eternal youth, or more exactly, eternal adolescence. Faust is the haughty child man, always seeking gravitas, seeking auctoritas, seeking dynamis, powers, and only at the end of the day, at the end of his day, is Easter morning when our play or opera begins. Realizing that it is pulchritudo et voluptas, beauty and pleasure, that he wanted, we wanted all along. Only a child could make this mistake. Only a child could be healed of his error by falling into the mud puddle and remembering what feeling feels like when it is actually feeling and not thinking about mastery, about goal. Mozart never grew old enough to forget this. Don Giovanni falling down the octave into hell is the child falling half willingly into the mud puddle. A child lacks power and authority more than he lacks anything else. The will to power is the will to be old. Faust is about age. Age in the sense of being old and then not wanting to be the thing you spent your whole life working so hard to become. Master, doctor, learned, grave, severe. And about age in the sense of epoch. In this age of the world and not another, this age of ours, discovered age as an issue. There was no Faust before alchemy, no Faust before mercantilism. Banks and trading companies are the direct inventions of alchemy, the transmutation of labor into gold, of paper into gold, of ordinary land into owned land, property, turning landscape into states and boundaries, turning experience into commodity. That is the alchemy housed in Hell's real estate by Dante, but put in charge of the state by Louis XIV and Cromwell alike. The instruments of power, as of pleasure, are infinite. No end of pleasure, no end of sin, no end of mastery. There is always someone left to subject, to make into a subject, to control. Subject, make someone into a serf or monarch's thrall. Subject, a mental commodity you study in school, botany, or economics. Goethe's Faust becomes the ruler of the sea in part 2 of that play. Powerful old man against the world, liquidity of money, the colonial moment at its height. The will to power, like the will to pleasure, is unchanging, an invariant energy, a variable goal. Fatiguing to have to be so close to someone who wants. Marguerite, the woman Faust is in love with, Marguerite does not succumb to her own desires, but to his. We faint into the power of another. Faust wore a business suit in college. He disdained the flute and the guitar. He leaves that to Mephistopheles, to pluck the lute, the apron strings, the delicate tracery of the bra. Stripped bare by mere magic, the woman stands revealed to Faust, instant nude. The urgency of his own desiring makes him think she is beautiful. Faust speaks, I will teach you how to be old. Disdain anything that children love. That is enough. Spend your life secretly yearning for what children have every day. Dreams of power are commonplace. The will to power, in and out of Heidegger's, of Nietzsche's sense, is rare. Heidegger explains that the will to power is the will to being, a verb on pilgrimage to the noun, change of state, desires alchemy, to become the thing you desire to possess, the element. Midas. What he embraces becomes him.